All right, today we're going to dive into Generation Z. You hear them called the internet generation all the time, right? But honestly, that's only half the picture. What really makes them tick is this unique collision of two major forces: growing up completely immersed in the digital world, while at the same time watching a constant stream of real-world crises unfold. So let's get into what truly sets them apart.
So yeah, let's just cut right to it. What is it that makes Gen Z so different? And I'm not just talking about TikTok dances or their slang. It goes way deeper than that. We're talking about a fundamental shift in how a person experiences the world, right from day one.
Okay, so first things first, who exactly are we talking about here? Before we can understand them, we gotta define the group.
We're looking at anyone born roughly between 1997 and 2012. Now, this isn't just some random range of dates. This window is absolutely critical because it places their entire childhood and teenage years inside a very specific and very new technological and historical context.
And that context brings us to the first of the two massive forces that shaped this generation. And believe me, this isn't just a quirky fact. It is a fundamental shift in what it means to be human.
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? To be a digital native means a world without instant messaging, without Google Maps, without a supercomputer in your pocket. Well, that's not even a memory. To them, it's like talking about ancient history. They literally can't imagine it.
And this creates this really important split. You have digital immigrants, that's older generations, who had to learn the internet. It was a new tool they adapted to. But for digital natives, Gen Z, the internet was never a tool. It's always been a place, just another part of their environment, like the sky or the street.
And what that means is there's no real line for them between their online life and their offline life. It's all just life. A conversation in a group chat with friends from all over the world is just as real and meaningful as a chat in the school hallway. The two worlds are completely woven together.
But see, that whole digital upbringing, that's only half the story. Because while they were navigating this brand new digital world, the physical world around them was, well, it was in a pretty constant state of turmoil. So just try to put yourself in their shoes for a second. You have this fire hose of information coming at you 24/7 through your phone. And a huge part of that stream is just an endless feed of one global crisis after another.
And when you look at this timeline, it becomes incredibly clear. Sure, many were born during a time of relative prosperity, but their actual formative years, the years they were becoming aware of the world, were dominated by the 2008 financial crash, a growing climate emergency, and then, to top it all off, a global pandemic.
So just to really hammer it home, these are the big three: global economic instability, the climate crisis, and the COVID-19 pandemic. It wasn't just one bad event. For them, it was a backdrop of constant uncertainty and crisis. So what happens when you smash these two things together? A life lived entirely online and a real world that seems to be lurching from one crisis to the next. Well, you get a totally new mindset, one that's pragmatic, hyper-aware, and just fundamentally different.
You can really think of it as a two-step formula. Step 1, you're completely immersed in the digital world from birth. Step 2, you witness constant real-world crisis, often through that digital lens. That combination, it forces you to become pretty pragmatic, pretty fast.
And it's that specific recipe, digital native plus crisis awareness, that has cooked up a worldview unlike any we've seen before. It explains why they value raw authenticity over polished perfection and why they're so quick to demand accountability. It's not one thing or the other. It's the powerful collision of both that defines them.
So if you take one thing away from this, let it be this: the Gen Z mindset is a direct, logical result of these two huge influences. It's what happens when you grow up with all the world's information in one hand and what feels like all the world's problems in the other. And understanding this is so important because this generation is already reshaping our culture, our workplaces, our politics. Which, of course, leads us to the big, final question. Now that we get what shaped them, how exactly will this digitally native, crisis-aware generation go on to reshape all of our futures?